Alright, boys, welcome to a yes, NTW3, 3v3. This is a tournament game for about 2 months ago. We got the Coalition. We have a Sweden player here, which is not a usually an unusual pick here. Sweden, it kind of lacks, it has a lot of stuff, but usually doesn't do that one thing very well. So usually, whenever I do Sweden, I usually just play quite elite, but his build already proves to be interesting. Lots of the light infantry, which is I like to see that because Sweden I think is pretty good light infantry. This is Russia 8, the map, and of course Sweden's be setting up a nice battery. So this is usually what we're doing on this map. Get a nice ridge line, get a good hill here, and overall we just get a good oversight as to where the enemy is pushing, and it's just nice. It's just a nice position to hold. You just gotta wait for your allies to come over here. You're playing Sweden. Over here we have Sembrin, one of my personal favorite factions. Montreal Cav. Little kind of Cavs. You want to be both of these mounted guides, in my opinion. And of course, the 7-man Cav. I do not ever find this unit to be at all worth it. From every experience of mine, it just seems like a good light Cav unit. It can just easily just a good Dragoon can easily shred this unit. So from my experience, this unit is just useless. But we'll see how it performs. Robert Ross, it's 5-star general. I actually didn't see what general his speech player is bringing. Yeah, okay. We got 9-point Spain here. Yeah, bring a decent amount of cav. We just got lots and lots of lancers and lights. Just one heavy cavalry. So we got some of this here. We got a lot of Canadian fencibles. Some light infantry there. Nice. Very classic builds. We got some artillery here. We got some Canadian militia foot artillery. You can get 4 6 pounds for less than 200 gold. It's pretty crazy. I mean, they're really shit 6 pounds, but I don't know. It's pretty awesome. It's kind of hilarious seeing it. It can be a big psychological threat. Man, and we got a Dragooner here going for some oh, this is Orient France. These are the Cavaliers, the mercenaries. You're gonna catch these guys off guard here. Should be able to wipe them out. I do believe so. Man, we should probably speed this up here. Got an Orient player. Very nice. Very good to say. Nice. Yeah, I would run those guys away though. There we go. Excellent. Orient. And we have a Württemberg, probably the most overpowered faction in the game right now. And Soult as 12 France. I mean, 11 France. Actually, I'm surprised it's not 12 France, actually. 12 France is insane in tournament games because you just get a competent player on 12 France, man. They can shred anything that's in front of them. And we've got some little buildings being taken here. Take a look at the map here. Again, this map really favors the coalition in terms of the good defensive position because you have nice access to this hill, which is on one side of the river. So it's, again, a great spot for guns, as we can see. It's already bombarding the forces, and I'm not really sure. Now, usually what I do on this map, I usually like having one force pinning the forces on the right, and then sending the rest of them over on the left. Some 8 pounds here. This is gonna be good. Get some counter battery. I mean, counter battery, in my opinion, it depends on the unit, really. If it's like guard 12 pounds, yes, counter battery fire. But if it's of course, if the unit is limbered, then yes, you want to counter battery fire. But it just really depends on the quality of the unit. The Link's mistake is actually quite a nice play. This is like denying almost this entire crossing from any form of cavalry play. That's actually very good use of stakes there. I do not believe you can cross at this little point here. Some cuirassiers moving up. And we got first remnants of the enemy on this side. Chevalier Lancers. We got some more Chevalier Lancers. And Sassars being spotted by this tiny little Lancer unit. Running back there. We got Soult though, and he should be able to very much hold up pretty well against these boys. But usually what I like doing is I like sending 2 forces around this left side and having one that can pin down the forces here. It's usually quite difficult to perform that, especially if the coalition team reacts on time. But I don't know. It's a tricky map for Imperials. But yes, it really depends on if they can concentrate their cav. But since he is playing 11 France and he did bring 1 crossier. Cross is a good crossier too, very good crossier. I don't really care about my pronunciation of crossier. We all know it's heavy cavalry, but yes, I usually like bringing 2 crossiers, 2 dragoons, and 2 lancers, 1 little chasseur cheval, and that usually makes up my cav force with 11. And in that case, that could easily probably 2v1 the Swedish and the 7 Britain cav, possibly even the Spanish cav. So if they can have the cav to kind of gain dominance on this field, whoa, okay, okay. I'm assuming that's the Württemberg general, or was that? Wait, what? Yeah, the Württemberg general. That's very unlucky. That was, I think, yeah, almost the only guy unit to die. Well, watch your generals, folks. I'm not sure if he was like putting it up against the building. I'm not sure if it just phased through the building or something, but good snipe on the Swedish player. Dang. General sniping machines. Pulling generals back. They don't want that to happen to their gens. But luckily, that was Württemberg. That was their weakest. But we have first remnants of the infantry. Just Guard National. Very crappy infantry. They'd be surprisingly resilient though sometimes. Remember once I was throwing some Austrian elite infantry, and I was like, they just wouldn't break them. I mean, granted, my general did die, but I was just kind of baffled why they wouldn't break sometimes. But yes, I might pause it here and wait till we get some action. I don't know, we might get some in a second. No, I'll pause it. I'll see you boys then. Alright, boys. We got some Capital Rangers coming up. This is going to be a good use. Some skirmishers. I usually find specific faction skirmish be good, and 7 Britain is one of those factions, in my opinion. Spain Cav, which is very overwhelming. There's a lot of men in their units, so not the highest quality, but overall. Now, they are kind of amassing all their Cav on this side, so I think a great counterattack on this right, if they could eliminate 11 France, and this, it just really depends on where Württemberg is going. We don't necessarily know, because their general's all the way in back. Oh, there's our answer. If Württemberg's going over here, I would just completely ignore the side and just make a big rush over to the right side. And we can eliminate 11 France. At this point, I would be pulling back my... I mean, granted, I couldn't see what this was happening. Okay, he's doing that now. I would be trying to pull back and reunite. If I could kind of... God, maybe make it sound a little cheap into this building here. Oh, wow, okay, no. He's making an extreme outflanking maneuver here on the left. That should be able to, they'll win that fight. The French, oh my, wow, okay, and we have some engagement. Wow, okay. This is just Garde Nationale, but he did end up getting a good counter charge. He killed quite a few. The Royal Montreals and the Heavy Cav. You can just see why I don't like this. They lost 10 guys. Going Garde Nationale on a rear charge. Yeah, I don't find it to be worth it. These boys should rally. They've lost very few men. I don't think any of these have actually go, except for this guy. Yeah, they should rally. A little micro mistake didn't keep them protected from other cav or squares, but whatever. Legion Antique, this is a cool unit. And you got some camels here, that's nice. Orient cav is actually moving over to this side, and we actually have some counter battery fire on this side, which is, I believe this is the 18-pound naval guns, right? Yeah, I'm actually being a little devastating there. These guys do not have good morale, so I think it's maybe a counter battery fire that is worth it, in my opinion. We're all big advance on this side. 7 Britain can use its militia mass and its regulars to kind of support that militia blob and just kind of flank around. Get up close, get some point-blank volleys on the flanks, and just, yeah. We work pretty well. 11 France infantry should be a challenge, though. He's going to be holding. So I think at this point... Okay, so Spain's holding the center, actually. I feel like I would be throwing Spain on this side. Or possibly throwing Spain up here to just kind of cut off these forces over here. Because, I mean, they can occupy this building, but other than that, like, what can they really do? Like, I don't know. Like, yes, they eventually will get, you know, to this 4-point, but, I mean, it's protected by some fencibles, and I think it'd be pretty easy to just retake that if they do. And Spain is coming over, you can see by his attacks. Now, what's 11's France might be planning to do here is making a counterattack and possibly trying to wipe out just a lot of the 7 France infantry before it can get nasty, but that's going to be difficult considering the amount of cav that's on them right now. You can imagine you have the Spain cav and the Swedish cav and the British cav. It's not going to be too good, and he's going to be falling back knowing that he's not going to win that in the direct line fight either. Oof, he's taking some casualties. In fact, these Cadwell Rangers wavering a little bit, but those are just Cadwell Rangers, not very high quality. But yeah, overall, just seems to be a bit of a cat and mouse game on this left, and I'm not sure if we have a lot of the Oriental infantry coming over on the left. There's a Portazal and a Grand Push over here. I don't really know how much is over here. You know, it'd be kind of wise if they put Wartenberg over here. In my opinion, they sent. Oh my, wow. Okay, there's actually a big stake line here. Oh, wow, that's actually kind of comedically hilarious. I don't think I caught that earlier. Just a massive stake line. Wow, so that's just completely cutting off any cavalry or artillery moving over to this side. So they don't have to leave any cav here to protect them. There's just, yeah, that's very comedic. Leaving that many stakes over there. Now kind of falling back into this slight hill. Setting up some of the militia. 6 pounds. Very cheap, effective artillery unit. And you got, Lead France. Oh wait, no, this is Orient actually. This is Orient. This is Lead France. Okay. I'm sorry for the confusion there. This is Orient. Orient infantry is already here. And then this is 11 France, okay? Well, 11 France should be able to press pretty hard, and I think Orient can kind of pin these guys, making kind of a pushing maneuver here generally. You can get 11 France that can just kind of sweep in over here, and then use his cav and just get into their rear. And if they can kind of coordinate that with Orient's cav, that could be a death sentence for them. If we're taking this building, the nearest like defensible position would be these. Although all the trees are fake on this map, so the wood line doesn't really matter. This is technically all flat. You just have elevation and buildings over here. Oh, we actually got. Ooh, we actually have some Hussars that made it. Wait, what? Oh wait, no, this is the stake line. Is not. This is the stake line. I thought they may cross the stake line. There's a little tiny gap here, where they might be able to sneak something through and get the artillery. But like the Frenches are either putting something there that we can't see, or they're just praying that they don't notice that. I wonder where the 11 France guns are in this match. I'm not sure if they decided to invest in 12 pounds and they're over there bombarding the Swedes. I don't know, I would want to throw like these Hussars up here and just kind of getting a little scouting just to see what's happening. Because if it's just Württemberg here, I would just kind of ignore this side for the most part, because if they kind of want to get off this little high ground of theirs, they can move up and you can kind of defend. You get a good position to hold here, and then you can just kind of set a lot of infantry to help them out in case of a counterattack ever happens here. But for now, it does appear that LLC does belong to the 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5. No, actually, it does not. Or is it tied? Nope, they have an advantage by 1. So it's really the coalition that has to make plays, or if the Imperials want to put up the pressure, they can. God, it seems like a very difficult position for the coalition right now. It really seems like the center is most weak right now. I feel like if you could kind of burst through here, this might be where most of their cavalry is, though. And I feel like by that time, they could easily set up and face that. Orient is just such a pain for an 8-point. You have these Garde Nationale here. I heard a cannonball. They just have the guns here. They do have artillery superiority on this side, though, because it seems like a lot of their guns were placed over there. And I do not know where the Orient guns or the 11 France guns are. I would like to know, but I do not. Got a little chase there. Those Hussars. And it looks like Britain is finally making a push. Now, I would personally want to make a push kind of in between, in the center here, because I could cut off and split these boys, which would make it easy pickings for Spain. But we actually occupy a little building here. We also gotta keep in mind that all they have to do is occupy one building, and I don't know, to me, just a little general sniping there going on. I mean, remember, you only have to occupy one of these buildings, and I don't know where. I think Württemberg might just be matching Sweden, but Sweden really could just be throwing infantry and cavalry here to support his ally, while Württemberg wouldn't really be doing anything over there. So he's sending a lot of these light infantry. Or these, no, these are regulars, not lights. Whoops. Big attack column there. Marching up, we just got some little militia. Arthur Brook, I usually bring Isaac Brock. It's 7 Britain, but... Monsieur Le Barons. Orion is very accurate infantry, so... we should do pretty well in this fight. But then again, these are just mostly militia. At least on this side, I get there are some regulars here, actually. Depends if they actually fire. This is Britain, so it's a little dicey. And look at, oh my god, all the sappers. They're probably the guys that laid the massive stake line over there. It's just so ridiculous. Orion, I do think, should win this line fight eventually, but with all these men coming up, I'm not sure if they're going to press really hard here, or they could be lining up here. We have some more men coming up. These are just Garde Nationale, though. I think these New Brunswick Fencibles and Canadian Fencibles actually should be able to outshoot the Garde Nationale. I do believe these things have like about 17, 18 accuracy, and these boys only have about 13, I believe. Or we'll win this line fight over time on this side, unless it's reinforced at some point. These are just Maghreb mercenaries, and these will break pretty easily. It's just simple light cavalry charge that they can get it in here and then slam it in, but of course they gotta watch for those French hussars.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
But overall, they're just still bombarding each other on this flank. We actually have some. Oh, they're the Württemberg guns. I wish I knew where all of Württemberg's forces were, but sadly we do not know. But it does seem like they're moving up here. These are very, very good light infantry. It's not like god tier light infantry, but it is good light infantry. They're marching up. I don't know. I would be moving these light infantry over to like on this flank and then trying to just rush up hard against them and then just give them a point blank volley. But then again, it is Britain, so it's difficult to do that sometimes. They actually got the Orient, I'm sorry, the 11 France combat gen right here. Swedish heavy cavalry, make some advancements, more 11 France infantry. This 11 France infantry is actually just this is actually quite good at Spain, kind of being aggressive with the scouting to make them think that Spain has forces over here, but there was actually quite a bit of infantry just kind of sitting here not really accomplishing anything, which is nice. And as I just said, yep, they will break quite easily with the cav charge. He threw his Montreal Royal Cavalry. In fact, the only medium cavalry out of all the Britain factions. I think they even should be able to overpower these hussars here too, since they didn't get a charge off. We'll do this with these crosshairs here, which should be able to push them aside. And because Swedish crosshairs, etc., are not amazing, these are Royal Fusiliers. This is quite good infantry. They can get like one more volley. I think these things actually should be able to break. A couple more volleys. It should be able to make a big breakthrough in their lines, and they could not flood it with cabs. I don't think you're gonna be able to break through these Großkiel, but certainly with especially those Wolf's Own. Yes, these Wolf's Own. You can throw those things in here and give them a point-blank volley against these Guard Nationale. Those things might as well not exist anymore right now because I mean, just one Dragoon charge, they could just throw that into there, push up with the infantry up here, and Spanish. They should be able to take this house if there's no more support here. And that would give them LLC advantage, unless, you know, 11 France here wants to push up and go for their 4. Which it does not appear he's very keen to be doing, since it's just simply sitting there right now. Nicely, nicely done. But these Großkiel are going to be a pain in the ass to break for the coalition. I mean, I don't find this heavy cap need to be worth it, but they're just kind of feeding this Großkiel to kind of tie it down, I'm assuming. Especially if you just get a few, if you could turn these Dublin foot to kind of fire at the Großkiel. It swears going to be a pain for them as well, I would imagine. New Brunswick Fencibles here. Spain pressing hard. Gotta wrap around here, just dromedaries, and they could hopefully occupy this building, which would completely force them back from this position. If not, just completely cutting them off, and you can just encircle them and murder them. These Großkiels probably should pull away. they're just getting shot to pieces right now. Run them away, run them away. Yes, there you go. Turn this unit against these boys, and then press up super hard. You can easily just sweep aside these sappers unless they go into melee, which that could be a problem. Up here on the right, seems like we had a little... Oh, yes. It looks like they 2v1'd a little French cabinet, and they actually made some mistakes. Wonder what happened to those... I actually wonder what happened to those, British militia guns. And yes, they're throwing that Dragoon unit. Or, I'm sorry, this is a Swedish heavy cavalry unit against these Guard National. Allowing these guys to push up. They'll be countered... Oh, wow. So they've taken so much damage by taking so much fire from the infantry there. And again, Württemberg's still not really doing anything. Oh, no, here we go. Württemberg cavalry, Leap Chevaliers. They have good Chevaliers, but they'll be repulsed by these Spanish heavy cavalry, which not being the best, but they will certainly still beat Chevaliers. And they could get these Chevalier Lancers, which actually might break these men. And because these Royal Seals are so weakened now, they can actually just overpower them, and, well, these guys are gone. And they can just simply push up here. And I actually wonder if this is going to break. It's close. It's hard to say. I think it should be. Yeah, it will be overpowers, but these guys are going to break any second. And yeah, these will break any second now. And they will sweep aside this flank, and hope they just going to throw that thing, and then that's going to deal with all those sappers. And man, this is not looking too good for the Imperials. They do own LC now, and I don't think it would be too difficult to turn against 11 France and just double team him, and then sweep aside, and you could take this building. That would very much give them the LC advantage there. Oh, these are the Grenadier Guard Zoo.
Our men are running, sir.
These little 8 pounds here, which they actually maneuvered from there all the way to here, unless they brought 2. Yeah, these infantry are not going to be long for this earth. Fusiliers for foot. They will murder them. There you go. Get them out of there. And yeah, it's a pretty nice push. Very well done. The coalition there. And overall, I feel like the Imperial real chance of comeback at this point is either Württemberg needs to be pushing for the Coalition 4, and then perhaps they could hold their 4 if Orient could somehow kind of make a counter. I don't know. I don't think it's really possible though. It might be over for the Imperials at this point. I don't see how they could really come back from this at this point. Like, again, unless there's some miracle happens over here where they can just hold all these points while at the same time kind of holding their forward, they might be able to obtain LC. It really just depends on how Württemberg performs. We can see that he's marching up on this right side. Had some Jaegers who dealing with some Spanish SARS.
Our men are running, sir.
And they should be able to take this. It's just some sappers. And they will eventually take that. Oh, nope. We actually have Württemberg infantry here. This game is only has about 18 minutes left, so if they can actually hold this 4 while occupying the enemy 4, which is very much a chance, that's certainly possible. And I mean no, it's no way. Look at all this stuff protecting that. There's no way. Grenadiers and all that just sending all over up the points. I almost did not see how this is. Well, I don't know. For France infantry, it's actually kind of doing quite well here. They've swept aside this front. I love this unit. This actually might be my favorite infantry on the roster. It has 27 accuracy for only 487. It's so great. SARS here, they could throw into the Glengarries and press up and maybe even kill a couple Marines of light infantry here. Mounted guides facing out against some Chasseurs Legion, Chasseurs Cheval. Yeah, 11 France should win in the long run, and especially with that. Charge them there, but In the end, if he kind of wheels himself on the left, he's kind of outnumbered here, though. That's the only problem. Unless he has some reserves that we are not seeing, then, yeah. He has some guns here, though. And if he can grab his gen here, or at least just get rid of him. He's stuck on this unit, though. And he's going to countercharge. That should be that unit dealt with. And General's going to be alive. Robert Ross will live. There's more infantry coming in here. These guys are already wavering. They've been quite damaged. And you also have some of Orient rallying here. If they could take out this 7 France infantry, I mean, not 7 France, 7 Britain infantry. I don't know, I feel like it'd be pretty easy for him to just get the hell out of there if he needed to and just kind of hold this point. And assuming that happens, they would most likely be able to hold this, right? This. Therefore, this one, this one, this one, this one. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. They would have 1, 5, 6, 7. This like might be a lot closer than we think. This battle actually sped it up quite a bit, especially with these hussars. It doesn't look like this 7 Britain infantry is going to be and he's not falling back. He is simply going to sit here and die. This cav, man, this is just gonna fall onto their flanks, and there's absolutely no way they're going to hold here, even with these Newark light fencibles. These things will come in. They should be able to wipe out these North British Fusiliers. Should break them. And boom. And they should be able to move on to these boys. Or these boys here. Watch the friendly fire there. I'd throw those things in as well against those Glengarry light fencibles. Throw them into that square. They should win that fight. Throw these Hussars back in so they don't get charged by this amount of guides. Wipe out here. And that should be the end of them. Watch your infantry, man. You gotta push them up. There you go. Boom, friendly fire yourself. Throw that thing around. I don't know why he's throws into the Glengarries and then swing around. And then, well, because it's kind of he's not really using his cast, so he's just kind of letting these boys die. He might survive. If he pulls out now, I think he will survive and have some infantry left. It was Wurtemberg over here. I mean, I don't know. He's kind of been like split because he has like half his men over here and half his men over here. I don't think he'll be able to. He seems to be just going for their 4, but that's never going to work. He might not know. He doesn't know that there's all this stuff here, but it's not. We already know it's not going to work. Over here on the left, that's Britain gone. He decided to sit there and not fall back. Perhaps he just wanted to sit there and knew that, oh, if I fall back, then we're not going to obtain LOC. But yeah, I would start farming those guys so that they don't return. None of them. And that would pretty much conclude that they would have all 3 of these points, and they should be able to hold this, because there's not much time left. Should be able to hold that, and with these points alone, that would be a pretty clear French victory. Where is this? Oh, there's a little Wurtemberg cavalry charge there. They charged the Wurtemberg infantry. They're pushing away these guys, but these guys are doomed. They are not going to be able to do anything for this battle. 12 pounds kind of maneuvering. These things still alive somehow after this long of a counter battery fire. I'm quite impressed by those 18 pounds. I like 18 pounds. When you actually set them up, they're incredibly fun, but 9 times out of 10 they never even get to reach the battlefield, but what can you do? Some Cazadorros? Is there really nothing in this building? Can't be nothing. No, I don't think there's anything in this building. Unless this was on top of their deployment zone to begin with, and they just have a cheap unit there, but man, and can they hold that? I don't think they're gonna be able to hold this for 7 minutes. Maybe like 2-3 minutes, not 7 minutes. I don't think there's any way you can hold this in time, personally. That's also assuming that oh yeah, there's nothing in here, so that point goes to them. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and then they actually have the LC advantage. So they would have to take this, which actually they will be able to take this. They certainly will be able to take this. Boom. It's just artillery crews manning them, so they will go away.
This
They will
building
die.
has fallen
Boom.
to
So
the
it's
enemy.
equal now. So they just gotta hold this fort. But light infantry here going to melee. Swedish cav in the rear. Yeah, there's no way. There is no way. Jaeger guard column, it's a very good unit, but it's not gonna hold against all this. And that should be the end of the battle. I don't think they have. Well, they own both fours, and that's all you need on this map. So that should be the end. Should be the end. And I think I will, in fact. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, and that is the end. And I will, in fact, yeah, that's it. That's it. There's no way they can take these fours, even these men over here. No way. It's just way too much. Maybe if this was like all guard infantry, but these are the opposite. These are in fact landwehr. Yeah, but no way. So I'll see you guys at the stats. And there you go. Templar Imperator, Templar Valentine, and Hobel. Valentine, very good player. Imperator, very good player. Hobel, good player. And yeah, this is all very high skill level players here. This is from the Swedish player's perspective, so I've got quite a few. I imagine a lot of that came from those charges against those Guard National and Vornberg infantry there. Of course, it's very good infantry. Man, this infantry didn't really do all that much. He really just kind of fought Württemberg. That didn't really do anything till the end of the game, and his infantry almost did nothing, in fact, but nonetheless, it's all he's even just getting straight up 0 kills. But yeah, his combat did stuff. Probably his skirms, 1 unit of skirms. Guns mostly shot. Other guns are just blind targets most of the time. But they actually got quite a few kills considering that. But yeah, this cav really helped out his teammates on there on the right. Practically may have actually allowed them to win that fight on the left. I'm sorry, the right, not the left. But yeah, it was a good battle. Very, very close. I think, man, I feel like the way the Imperials could have won that. Württemberg was very, very reluctant. I feel like most of that game, he did not. Mostly was just sitting. I feel like if his cav was on the left side initially to begin with, I'm not sure if he actually was. It just took a while to get over there. If his cav was over there on the left side to begin with, then that might have allowed them to eventually win that cav fight. And same thing with some of the 11th Friends cav. There was some units like those Hussars there at the end that weren't really dedicated till the very end. Some of the 11th France infantry was just kind of sitting there on the left. But in the end, I think the coalition was just a lot more coordinated that round, and they ended up managing to counterattack Orient and wipe him off the field. That really just allowed them to gain control of the field, and eventually they managed to break through and get the enemy's four and occupy this four at the same time, which luckily that decision actually won them the battle because the Imperials actually owned more ones. But anyway, that was a good battle. I shall see you guys next time.